Vladimir Putin keeps escalating his challenges to President Trump. They keep getting worse. Putin keeps getting bolder. Overnight, the Kremlin launched a major attack on Ukraine's city center. The barrage of missiles decimated residential buildings and damaged the European Union offices. 23 people were killed, 63 wounded. Many of those are civilians. That's our Why It Matters segment tonight. If Trump wants to end the war in Ukraine, President Trump will have to pick a side in the Ukraine war. Because playing nice with Vladimir Putin isn't working. Putin views nice as weak. Peace requires strength. Vladimir Zelensky is tough to argue with right now. The Ukrainian president wrote on X, Russia chooses ballistic missiles instead of the negotiating table. It chooses to continue killing instead of ending the war. Fact check, true. He isn't wrong. Russia continues to promise peace and kill more. But the White House doesn't see it that way. At least they won't talk about that way publicly. Press Secretary Leland Vittert chose not to blame Putin for the attack and instead cited strikes from both countries for why the war rages on.
He was not happy about this news, but he was also not surprised. These are two countries that have been at war for a very long time. Russia launched this attack on Kyiv, and likewise, Ukraine recently dealt a blow to Russia's oil refineries. But perhaps both sides of this war are not ready to end it themselves. The president wants it to end, but the leaders of these two countries need it to end and want it to end, must want it to end as well.
Levitt went on to say we'd hear more from the president later. We did not. Haven't seen him publicly since then. But we have to be fair here. An attack on oil refineries is not the same as a World War II-style carpet bombing of another country's capital, clearly to target civilians. Trump wants both sides to believe he is an honest broker, the guy in the middle. And he feels like he can push Ukraine and Russia, Putin and Zelensky, together.
People go into war, think they're going to win the war, and then they get their asses kicked. And I'm sure that Ukraine thought they were going to win. It's going to be, we're going to win. You're going to beat somebody that's 15 times your size. Look, it takes two to tango. You understand that. I wanted to have a meeting with those two. I could have been at the meeting, but a lot of people think that nothing's going to come out of that meeting. It takes two to tango.
Well, Ukraine is fighting for its survival. Putin is fighting for conquest. That's just the ground truth. Also, we haven't heard much about when this meeting between Putin and Zelensky that was the huge thing to come out of Alaska is going to happen. And here's why. Both Putin and Zelensky feel like Trump is on their side, or at least he's not against them. That doesn't work anymore. Back in February, Trump laid down the law to Zelensky in the Oval Office. We can't forget that moment. The Ukrainian president clearly hasn't forgotten it either. Zelensky has changed his tune and has been willing to negotiate. Trump's meeting with Putin has yielded so far nothing. Instead of being an honest broker, Trump risks becoming irrelevant. If you want to end a war, you can't.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.